An important meeting for Son, and are Spurs about to raid Brentford in a double swoop? Here are your daily Tottenham news headlines. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Let's get into it. Diario Ole in Spain are reporting that Diego Simeone said on Spurs defender Cristian Romero, "Do I want Cristian Romero? Of course, he's a great player." Reports are also stating that Son Heung-Min will decide his future after an important meeting with new Tottenham manager Thomas Frank. If he decides to leave, he is open to joining Fenerbahce. He still believes that Jose Mourinho was the manager who unlocked him to reach the next level in his career. The problem will be the transfer fee. Son Heung-Min is Asia's football diamond. Tottenham and their chairman Daniel Levy are currently unwilling to sell for a reduced fee. Fabrizio Romano on our Tottenham targeting forwards like Dibling and Wissa on top of Mbeumo. Both are appreciated, but no concrete talks took place yet. An internal meeting with Thomas Frank will take place this week. The Mirror are reporting that Manchester United have had a bid of around £55 million rejected by Brentford for Mbeumo. And as reported already by Mirror Football, a first official step has been made towards reuniting Mbeumo and Frank, with Spurs technical director Johan Lang offering up to £65 million plus £5 million in add-ons to land the Cameroon international. Frank will also be keen to reunite with his star player Mbeumo from last season at Brentford, with Tottenham holding initial talks about a deal for the Cameroonian forward with their London rivals. Mbeumo is one of the most sought-after Premier League players this summer transfer window after a stellar season at Brentford in which he scored 20 top-flight goals while also contributing 7 assists. The Mirror also state that 2 Spurs players will know exactly where they stand with Thomas Frank already. The Dane tried to sign both Brennan Johnson and Archie Gray while he was at Brentford before their move to Spurs. The Express are reporting that Tottenham could raid Manchester United if Mbeumo joins the Red Devils in a £70 million transfer, but missing out on their preferred target might not spell catastrophe for Spurs, as it could make a move for Alejandro Garnacho easier. Garnacho has been touted to leave United this summer, having seemingly burned his bridges with Ruben Amorim following last month's Europa League final. The Argentine international criticised his manager's decision to name him as a substitute for the Bilbao showpiece, with reports stating that Amorim told Garnacho to find a new club shortly after. With the winger's future seemingly away from Old Trafford, it's being claimed by the Daily Mail that Garnacho's priority is to remain in England, increasing the chances of a move to Tottenham. The Metro are reporting that Spurs are plotting to hijack Manchester United's bid for Bryan Mbeumo and are also chasing fellow Bees star Johan Wissa. Mbeumo and Wissa have been linked with a double transfer deal in the summer market, which could reopen with an unexpected Spurs splurge of around £120 million. They scored 39 Premier League goals between them last season, with Cameroon striker Mbeumo hitting 20 and Democratic Republic of Congo forward Wissa 19. And if their incredible partnership remains intact, alongside a strike force which includes England international Dominic Solanke and which is supplied by James Maddison, Dejan Kulusevski, Brennan Johnson and Lucas Bergvall, it would make the Europa League winners serious contenders for a top 4 finish next season. Okay, well, here's my thoughts on all those stories today. Firstly, Diario Ole in Spain reporting that Diego Simeone's said about Romero, of course he wants him, he's a great player. Some people will be upset by that and say that other managers shouldn't be talking about players from other teams. But let's face it, Romero is a good player. He's going to say that. What's he going to say if he's asked a question? Doesn't really bother me, to be honest. Doesn't mean Romero's going anywhere. I'm sure the club want to keep hold of Romero. As I've said before, you know, he's one of our key players. Vice captain, could be captain if Son leaves. So the club are going to want to hold on to him. This is going to be one of many meetings Thomas Frank is going to be having this week, you would imagine, with the likes of Romero and Son, to see what they think their future holds and what they want to do with their futures. That leads us on nicely to Son Heung-Min. Going to sit down with Thomas Frank this week. Again, we don't know how this is going to go. I could see Thomas Frank almost doing both options, letting Son go if Son wants to go, or wanting to keep Son around because he's club captain and for everything he's done and a bit more experience in the dressing room. It just depends how Thomas Frank sees the future, I guess. And I think we'd all be guessing if we say we know what's going to go on here, because I certainly don't. As I've said before, if Son wants to go, he can go with my blessing, and you know, he's going to be missed, but you know, he's getting a little bit older now. He's going to be 33 next month. So if his last job for Tottenham was lifting the Europa League title, he's kind of done his job, and he can leave a happy man, and we wish him well, but he'll always be a Spurs legend in my eyes. Fabrizio Romano talking about Dibling, Wissa on top of Mbeumo. I think that would be a bit of a stretch to get all three. As I've said before, Dibling, not sure about, to be honest. The jury's still out. Certainly wouldn't want to pay a huge fee there. And, of course, we need experience in this window, and Dibling hasn't got that experience. I'd much prefer to go for Wissa and Mbeumo. But, again, we'll see how that works out. I can't see Brentford wanting us to, you know, we've stolen their manager, let's face it. We're going to be taking two of their best players as well. I can't see them selling both those players. But, you know, Brentford are a selling club. That's how their model operates. So we'll see how that one goes. And the Mirror Football, again, reporting about Mbeumo. All the talk is about Brian Mbeumo. Seems to be that he would consider Spurs, but his heart, for me, seems still set on United for some reason. I don't know why. But, you know, if he supported that club as a kid, who knows? Who knows how people think? But it's up to him, it's his career. But I'd love to see Mbeumo at Tottenham. And as for getting both of them, as I said, I'm not sure about that, how Brentford would feel about selling both players to Spurs. This is £120 million touted. That would seem a bit of a stretch. But hey, you know, stranger things have happened. But I just can't see Spurs doing that. You never know, but I just can't see Spurs doing that. And as reported by the Express about, you know, if we miss out on Mbeumo, then we could go for Garnacho. I think Garnacho is a great player, to be honest. And he hasn't had a decent run under Amorim. Again, the price has got to be right, but he is an inexperienced Premier League player. And it's exactly the kind of player we're looking for, in my opinion. Somebody with Premier League experience, and you know what you're getting. So I wouldn't be opposed to that. Some would say his attitude's a bit wrong, but you know, I think he's a great player. He could do wonderful things for Tottenham. Again, some would say that we're kind of overloaded in the winger position, but are all our wingers or should they all be in that squad? You know, I mean, get down in the comments, let me know which wingers would you want to move on, and of the ones I've mentioned, which ones would you want to bring in? Because I wouldn't be opposed to Garnacho, again, but the price has got to be right. Anyway, that's all from me today. Get down in the comments, let me know what your thoughts are on all those stories today. Come on, you Spurs.